So Bob and Mike, I don't really know you that well, but I feel like I do, almost like everybody else in the tennis world. I talked in my introductory remarks about journeys, and I've talked about my wife and I being tennis junkies. I think the first time we watched you play actually was at Arizona State University, where I was a professor for years. I think your dad came to the match, and we've watched you from there through bunches of Grand Slams, and it's just been a great joy, pleasure, and privilege. I talked about teams and camaraderie. I'm seeing Mark Bay here, and it's a funny thing about not only that the world is small, forget about 6 degrees of separation, it's usually 1 or 2. Mark and I have had the pleasure of working together for a long time, Mary Bushman and I. Look around the room, and it's about teams. And when I think about the journeys that we've had with the USTA and some of the intersections, it's just been an amazing journey for me. I've gone from being an orchestra conductor to a part of the tennis industry, which I love, but it's about journeys. Our son Jeff sends his regards, and obviously has had the great pleasure and privilege of working with you as well. But in closing, just to tie together my work as a musician with tonight, we used to have debates in the world of art, and the question was, what is great art? It's a very philosophical question. What is great art? And there was once a philosopher named Samuel Johnson who was asked, what is great art? And his answer was that which pleases many and pleases long. Great art is that which pleases many and pleases long. And when I think about great art, whether it's Mozart or Beethoven or Picasso or Monet, great art is that which pleases many and pleases long. And when I was trying to think about just your guys' role in the tennis world, it just seemed that you're like great art. You've pleased many people, and you've pleased us all for a very long time. And we really thank you for not only coming here, but bringing your wonderful families. I was talking to the young singer in the world when we got here, and said, I've gotten to conduct for some great singers, and now I got to hear a great singer both at the US Open and I think at the Billie Jean King Cup. So back to this idea of threads and families and journeys. Let's cue up the video, and off we'll go.
As the winningest doubles pairing in tennis history, one duo stands above the rest in Bob and Mike Bryan. In the conversation as some of the most influential players of our sport, the Bryan brothers have gone on to accumulate the most overall titles and Grand Slam titles in ATP history. With 438 weeks atop the world rankings at number 1, more than 1,100 match wins and chest bumps under their belt during 20-plus years of professional play, the Bryan brothers proved time and time again that they were certainly here to stay. But before winning Grand Slams and Olympic gold, Mike and Bob had their sights set on a different type of goal growing up, one that would help propel them into the history books.
Our big goal was always to play at a D1 university, a top D1 university, and my dad would take us to all the college matches in the area to see that next level of where we're trying to get to.
Whether it was UCSB, Pepperdine, UCLA, or SC, Friday afternoons, we would get rid of practice for the day and go down and enjoy a great college match. And we were inspired by that. We really looked up to the college players, and the level's so high. We wanted to do that. And Mike and I set a goal. We put it on our refrigerator. At the beginning of every year, we'd write down our long-term goal was to play D1 college tennis.
And while the Bryans' college decision would be up in the air, with options to go to USC or Stanford, there was always one decision that was never in doubt.
Yeah, it was a very easy decision to go together. I mean, we were a package deal.
Twins are always a package deal. We pretty much spend every minute together.
We always play doubles together. We're so close, being identical twins.
We were each other's best friends and just partners in crime. And so it wasn't even a discussion if we were going to split up.
We always thought we were going to go to USC and be there, just like my mom had gone to SC. But, in the back of our mind, we were looking at the Stanford program.
We saw Stanford at the 1990 NCAAs. They just looked like a powerhouse. They were one of the top teams in the country. We just wanted to try to play on the best team we could. And
2 scholarships miraculously opened up, and then we jumped at the opportunity.
The coach, the players on the team, just the beautiful university. That's kind of what made the decision easy for us.
Very, very lucky to have an opportunity to go up and play for Stanford.
Bob and Mike would go on to win back-to-back team titles for the Cardinal in their 2 years at the farm from 1996 to 1998, including the singles and doubles titles in their final year, capping off their undefeated season with a triple crown for Stanford.
I mean, I think it was one of the smartest decisions we ever made, was to go off to college. I felt like we really needed it to grow as individuals and people, and socially and emotionally and everything. We just learned so much in those 2 years at Stanford.
There's nothing like college tennis. The emotions you feel on the court, the pressure you deal with, the adversity of going into a hostile environment, say Athens, Georgia, and playing against the Bulldogs there, with 6,500 fans screaming at you. And it really prepared us for the tour. And Davis Cup matches felt like a piece of cake as far as dealing with the environment. But we learned so many lessons.
College tennis is just a great springboard for the tour, because you're playing against some of the top players in the country, in the world. You're growing physically, mentally, and you can really improve your game over those, whatever you want to go, 2-4 years. I just think there's no rush. And so it's great to see guys coming out of college and then going right into the tour and making that seamless transition and cracking through.
What they've done to help doubles and keep doubles going in this world of competitive tennis is also phenomenal. People enjoy watching them play because they're just fun to watch. They're fun people and fun to be around. I was truly blessed to have Bob and Mike on the team for 2 years, and we were all better people because of our association with them and what they gave to us and what we learned from them.
There's something unique about the Bryans. They are the most dedicated, focused people that I've ever met, and doing it with class all the way through. I think that kind of differentiates them from everybody else, is that they had a unique talent. Their work ethic was second to none.
It's been such a thrill to watch them, all their success, to be part of it in college, and then after they graduated, obviously to become, the greatest doubles team in the history of tennis. It's to live up to those expectations that other people had and that they put on themselves. I think it was just for me personally, it was really exciting. And I'm so happy for them.
Mike and Bob, I just wish I were with you tonight. It's such a great moment for intercollegiate tennis in general, of course, and for you guys as well. This honor is something that will be cherished by you always, and the contributions you made to our Stanford tennis program, to tennis, to doubles in general in the world. I'm so proud of you, and we all are so proud of you, and really thankful for the opportunity to have gotten to know you in your journey and along the way, and we wish you all the best in the future for continued success in your involvement in tennis and with your families.
Bros, I love you guys. I can't be more proud of you. What an accomplishment to cap off an incredible career. So proud of you guys, and there's nobody more deserving of this. Congratulations.
I just want to congratulate you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you have accomplished, for everything that you have brought to our sport, and for everything that you brought to my life. Congratulations, fellas. You guys just keep on being you.
Bob, Mike, congratulations. It's about time. You guys are legends in tennis and in college tennis, obviously. And congratulations and welcome to the Hall of Fame.
Wearing this Stanford sweatshirt in your honor, Mike and Bob. Huge congratulations on the ITA Hall of Fame. Well deserved. What a great career you had there and on the Pro Tour. Your mom and I just couldn't be more proud of you. Congratulations again.
One more.
Take this off.
Program's running a little long, so we're gonna give you guys a 2-for-1. It's a school night. But thanks Tim, thanks ITA for putting together this beautiful award ceremony. We're thrilled to get this honor. Great speeches, guys. It's hard to follow that. And congrats to our fellow inductees on getting in here as well. It's a decorated class. Proud to be with you guys. And thanks, Josh, for putting together that video. Those are touching words about our teammates, our coach. Right there, it really means a lot to hear that stuff from Goldie, and who was truly the tiebreaker for our reason to go to Stanford, because it was wavering, but this guy was our junior idol. He was a god, 3-time Kalamazoo champ, and it was an honor to play for Gould and Windlinger, but to rub shoulders with Paul Goldstein there on the farm. So that was the tiebreaker.
I don't know why my dad has a racket in that picture, but he was in his backyard, and he loves landscaping, so you could see how green his yard was. And he couldn't be here tonight because he's landscaping, he's doing his he's picking weeds. But it did start with my parents. They drove us to college matches every week in a 100-mile radius of our house, UCSB, Pepperdine, UCLA, Stanford. That's where we fell in love with college tennis, the passion and the excitement of college tennis. And we wrote down our goals. We wanted to go to a top D1 university and worked hard every day to get a scholarship. And as Bob said, there were 2 opened up at Stanford. And that was just like a jackpot. So we jumped at the opportunity to go play under Gould and play with Goldie.
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to our parents. They had a great balance in our house of academics, athletics. Bringing an A home on the report card was just the same as bringing a trophy home from the tournament on the weekend. And you guys all know what Nintendo was. We had no TV in our household, but we were begging for the Nintendo. And they put together a crazy list of stuff we had to accomplish. It was take the trash out, brush teeth, make the bed, take a shower, which was a hard thing for us at that time. But we did it every day for a year. And finally the Nintendo showed up, and my dad put a parameter on it. It was 1 hour every Friday that we could play. And that was torture for us because we were junkies. And we were playing 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night, and we heard the footsteps come down the hallway. My dad was going to the bathroom. And Mike dove to turn off the TV, he tripped. My dad busts in, he's like naked, and he rips the Nintendo out of the wall. Sparks flying, cords, drywall, and he went across the grass. We had a 100-foot branca behind the house, and he just hurled it. And it was traumatic for Mike and I. It's why my kids got the iPhones, and we got 14 TVs in our house now. But they were really, strict about the time management and setting goals. It's tougher these days. We all got kids, and my kids waking up at 2 in the morning and asking for cartoons because they're so good. And so, where do I go with that story? You just want it. We needed college tennis. We were small, little guys. You saw some of these pictures. We were little. I think we were 125 pounds coming into Stanford. Hadn't had girlfriends. I don't think we kissed anyone. We were lightweights because we went right into SE, and Goldie had to pour water in our drinks when they're hazing us at SE. But we won Kalamazoo. We got a wild card. I want to tell about Pat Galbraith's story. We drew Pat Galbraith's first round of the U.S. Open there. He was one of the top teams in the world, and he used that profile racket that's 6 inches thick. Yeah. And he had these really compact strokes, and he savored every shot. Like, he actually took it so early, like you'd serve a volley and he'd be at the net before you. So shout out to Galby. I know he's not here, but he drummed us. He actually he was up 6-0, 2-0 in I think 25 minutes, and so he made the choice pretty easy for us to go to college because we needed it. Yeah, we needed it big time to grow and get stronger. And it was a perfect springboard for the tour. So we learned a lot of lessons from Gould. Well, one lesson we learned was just improve every day and never be satisfied. And we really took that to heart on the tour. Win a title back in the gym on Monday. And I'll never forget '97. We were celebrating on the court after winning the national title, holding the trophy up. And he came up with a steely look on his face and shook my hand and said, "Great job, rookie. If we keep working, imagine how good we're going to be next year." And that's how his brain worked. That's why he won 17 national titles, because he wasn't content. He wasn't looking at the past. He was always looking forward to the next challenge.
Yeah, I think our highlight in college was playing in Athens against the Georgia Bulldogs. I know Manny Diaz is here. He was leading that team.
George, we got George.
Yeah, we got George Brzezny. He was a former Bulldog. I think he should be an inductee one of these days. But yeah, we played Georgia in the finals. We had a great team. I think we were 27-0 going into the finals. But we heard just kind of legendary stories about how the Georgia fans could turn a match. And heard the Ricky Leach story, and they were kind of, they could just take down a team. So we played that morning. Georgia was playing LSU, I think, or Ole Miss in the semis, and we sent out Ali Ansari to go scout the crowd, not scout the actual players, scout the crowd. And I remember he came back to the hotel, and his face was white, and he just whispered, he's like, "You guys better not do that damn chest bump tomorrow. or just tone it down, just pull your hats down and play." And we were scared. I mean, I remember sitting in the corridor with all the players, and we could hear the crowd in the background, and we were all kind of shaking. And we hadn't lost a match. We hadn't lost many points. And we were all shaking, and we expected like a Newt Rockney or like a Vince Lombardi type speech from Gould. And he didn't say a word. He just went up to each guy and just looked right down their eyes and just went down the line and didn't say anything. But you could tell he'd done it before, he'd been there, and it was just that confident glare. Luckily we snuck it out, but I mean that prepared us for Davis Cup on the road. I mean it was a piece of cake. I mean we played in bull rings and soccer stadiums against Nadal and company, and nothing was like that. The barking dogs, the fraternity guys pouring beer on you, or yelling obscenities about your mom.
Yeah, and one more story about Athens, because we got Coach Smith here, and this is about your genius, you know, because this was 10 days into the tournament. We won about 19 matches in a row. Georgia fans were getting pretty sick of us. We were a heavy favorite to win the doubles. It was our last college match, and we were playing your team, goal at Linstead at Pepperdine. It was about 120 degrees, and we're walking out to the court. They're wearing these blue and orange sweat jackets. And we're like, they're crazy, what are they doing? But then we got to the coin toss, and they unzipped the jackets. They're wearing these white t-shirts with big, bold Georgia tennis on the shirts, which was genius. The crowd went nuts. We got, oh shit, you know? and you put them in position to win. 3-0, 40-11 in the third. They just couldn't close the door. Maybe karma, but I thought it was a hell of a coaching tactic. It shows you're a genius. You didn't have the horses, but that was a good play. I gotta give a shout out to Coach Mark Bay here too. His first NCAA's was in Athens in '98 with us, and he just told us today that he's now been to 26 straight NCAA tournaments. He helped us on the tour. Never missed the U.S. Open of Miami or Cincinnati, and he was the cheapest coach we ever had, because in Miami we didn't have to get him a hotel room. He would finish the match, go out to the clubs on South Beach, come sleep 30 minutes the next morning in a rental car, and then show up for practice 5 minutes late every time. But thanks Mark for everything.
Yeah, I mean, after the Athens, that was our last match against Peter's team, and we went back to the farm, and it was a tough decision. Bob won the Triple Crown. We got a couple calls from agents, but it was actually Gould that called us into his office and told us, you guys are ready to go. So he told us, it's time to go pro. And so we turned. It was tough. We were leaving our SAU bros. You know, 23 years on tour, 1,500 matches. And but I don't think we'd have the success we did and the longevity without college tennis. So we're very, very grateful to college tennis. We have our families here. We have kids now, and we want them to get good enough at tennis so they can go and play some college ball. Because for us, it was life-changing.
Yeah, honestly, we've been over the matches, and just watching the tennis brings back goosebumps. The energy and the fight and the players, the way they're playing for each other. There's no ATV points, no prize money on the line, and you know, just dig in for the pride of the program, for the love of their brothers and sisters, and that's as Davis Cup captain. You know, I was asking Peter for advice, but that's a vibe I want to create you know, just that love of each other. And if we can do that, you know, we're going to be winners.
Yes. Gotta thank my wife Nadia and Bob's wife Michelle. They actually had a junior tournament today. They woke up at 6 a.m. and they're going through that junior meat grinder.
Goldie, do you watch Level 7s? Are you watching that?
Yeah, but we just really want them to experience the college tennis magic. And yeah, thanks for just a great night. And Coop and Goldie, look out for Stanford 2024. They're coming. Go Cardinal! Come on, Cardinal!
Bob and Mike, that was fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing those stories. I had the privilege, when I was chairman of the board and president of the USTA, of going to a lot of Davis Cup matches at which Bob and Mike were representing our country. And we could not have had better representatives of our country, of our sport. And my hat is off to you because you made such a difference, whether it was Spain or Monte Carlo or South America or all the places that we got to go together. So thank you so much for all you've done for the sport. You deserve the reputation for being the greatest doubles team of all time. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for coming. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll look forward to seeing all of you again soon. Thanks.